Back inside the Salt Palace Convention Center, Salt Lake City, Utah. Triple Crown Volleyball NIT is rolling along on a Saturday. It is Saturday, right? Yeah, it's Saturday. Sunday, more play. Monday, more play. Championship day on Monday for these 212 volleyball clubs who've met up here. There are 5 age divisions in town, 18s, 17s, 16s, 15s, and 14s. 14s have 20 teams in their division and then 48 teams in each of the other 4 divisions for a 212-team total. Again, over 400 college coaches here. This means that pretty much the entire prep volleyball world is on hand, and prepvolleyball.com is on hand. And it's Chris Tobolski. Chris, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate the time.
Absolute pleasure to be here.
Chris brings the power, brings the content to prepvolleyball.com. So, Chris, before we go anywhere else, what sorts of coverage, what's the coverage plan for you here this weekend in Salt Lake City?
It's simple. Get as much done as absolutely possible given all the phenomenal volleyball teams and all the exciting action. It's just a whirlwind. So there's really no strategic plan other than follow all the exciting action and find out who's upsetting who, what's going game 3s and all that sort of stuff. And then we just get back and write about it. Top of that, looking for the standout players. I mean, a lot of the 17s and 18s are committed, but we have class of 2019s, class of 2020s here. A lot of them are uncommitted, so we go around, we try to find out who's impressing us, you know, the rumor mill, who might be committing where soon. We stay busy.
I'm sure you do. It's 3 days of play. Of course, there's a lot of lead work going in and then some follow-up work. I know you did a lot of work prior to the event.
Absolutely.
Some pre-event coverage with other things going on around the country as well. So what was the lead up for you? What was the focal point that you were trying to get to by the time you got here?
Absolutely. I think there's 3 things that I love about this event, and I try to highlight in the pre-tournament coverage. One, first and foremost, you get the associations coming together. USA Volleyball, JVA. It's just great volleyball. We don't worry about that. Let's get it done. Second, it's the format. You don't have this set up anywhere else to where first match of the day, you're getting a Munciana playing a top select, just going at it. Or, you know, every court you just look at, where do you get that? And you walk around here and listen to the feedback. That's what coaches love. They don't want to play that first match of a weekend, go 25-5, 25-5. That doesn't, nobody gets better. So that format offers something special and unique. And then lastly, that no other event can match is what actually happened last year in 15 Open with Munciana and Arizona Storm. They played here for the 15 Open title. Munciana beat them. Muncie goes on to win 15 Open in AAU. Arizona Storm goes on to win 15 Open in USAV. So you have both teams that played here go on to win gold medals. So what do we look at to decide who ends the season number 1 in our national rankings? What happened here, right in here in this gym. And that result gave Muncie our national championship last year for 15s based on what happened on this event. That's special.
Yeah, among the lead work you did coming into the Salt Lake City event, you had predictions on your website regarding the Salt Lake City event. One, that's pretty bold because that's something that you can't erase your footprint there. No. You're committed to that. No. What's that like? How do you go about that process?
Well, if you follow my predictions, you'll know they're not much of a prediction. In fact, my motto is I'm always right when it comes to being wrong. So if I picked your team to win it, you might as well not make the trip because your chances of winning just went out the door.
You are the jinx.
I am the jinx. But no, we have fun. We try to look at, you know, how teams finish the year, what type of schedule they had leading into this event. With the 18s, did they get out to qualifiers? With the younger groups, did they travel beforehand? What type of power leagues were they playing in? If you're playing in the Tour of Texas, I think you have a leg up maybe compared to playing in the SCVA, where it's a lot less competition leading up into this, based on how they run their own regional tournaments and stuff.
Okay. So you have the Frosh 59 list that you work on. And
that's all John Tawa, founder of Prep Volleyball.
Yeah, tell us more about that, the sort of the process behind that.
Oh yes, it's a very involved process. One thing that I'm starting my 3rd year at Prep Volleyball, and one of the things that I've learned from John is that he's very thorough in how he goes about managing all this stuff. So for us to put out Frosh 59, the process realistically started at the end of the high school season. We reach out to as many coaches as possible. We try to get as many names. John is scouring websites and newspapers across the country trying to come up with all county teams and all region teams. And from there, we just get a list of a couple hundred girls, and then we decide, who are the Frosh 59 and kind of the categories from there. But that's a very involved process. A lot of our lists are the top 50 juniors, the 100 senior aces. They're a month's worth of work.
Chris Tobolski with PrepVolleyball.com. What else is happening? Of course, all of our attention is focused in here. The center point of the Triple Crown volleyball world is right here in Salt Lake City. But there's so much happening as the wheels get in motion for the big club season now. What else is on the radar for you? What else is coming up?
For me, I'm chomping at the bit to get out there and watch the 15s right now. For us, we don't cover the 14s, so the 15s, it's all new to us. So these are when we get to see the next big setters and the next deadly outside hitters, and this is what really fires us up. We have a lot of knowledge of the 18s and the 17s and the 16s we followed last year, but that's what I'm most fired up about this weekend being here, is seeing the 15s. And like I mentioned last year, we had Muncie and Storm, and they both, so there's great competition here. Beyond this event, up next for me is I'll be traveling out to Louisville for Bluegrass, which is hosted by Kiva. It's a great event out there. And then we get in qualifying season. John will be at Crossroads at the end of the month, first weekend of March. Be out at Big South in Atlanta. Oh man, everywhere. Lone Star in Texas. We'll be out at Northern Lights. So, look for us out there.
So the frequent flyer miles are going to be accruing here quickly.
Absolutely. They just keep coming, which isn't a bad thing.
So final thought on this Triple Crown Volleyball NIT and the growth of the event. Just 3 years ago, 37 teams were here. It's grown to 212. Sean Hardy, the director of the event, believes he's probably going to almost double that next year into the 400s. What's been your observation from a club director's perspective? We've talked about a few of those things so far today, but if you're inside the mind of a club director, what is it that's bringing the teams here?
Well, first off, I don't think you put together a great event without having great people. And everybody I've ever come in contact with at Triple Crown Sports has just been top-notch, professional, great to work with, great attitudes. And I think you see the way they approach their jobs and their professionalism. I think it carries over into what you see in this event. And for Sean Hardy to just go out with this idea, and it's one to have an idea, it's totally something else to execute it, and then execute it so well beyond everybody's expectations. I mean, I interviewed Blake Rollins from Top Select 18, and he said he had 50 college coaches come up to him last year and said, "Why weren't you at this event? Why weren't you at this event? You need to be there." Everywhere I went, I was asking coaches that weren't there from their clubs, "Why aren't you there? You need to get out here. This is the best of the best, and you need to be here." And I think that became, once they moved from theory to an actual possibility and they could see they could make it happen, I think this is why you're seeing it explode.
Yeah, good point. Chris Tobolski with PrepVolleyball.com. It's PrepVolleyball.com. Get on the website, check out all the coverage, the stories flying around, lots of great things happening at PrepVolleyball.com. Chris, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy it.